There was really no aha moment. There was a lot of failures, and then eventually something works, and then I guess that's the aha moment where you're like, oh, it actually worked. So my name is Vishnu. I'm a computer science major here at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, and I've made a couple of Android apps, and I'm working on a couple right now. Don't give up. Whatever you do, don't give up. Things will get rough, but the feeling of actually making something and the feeling of having other people use it is fantastic. When I made my first app, it was probably the simplest thing that a 16 or 15-year-old could have made. It was a little game that it's an old traditional Indian game. You have these sheep, and you control the sheep, and there's a couple of tigers that are trying to hunt you down. It's like a little board game, and you're trying to evade them. And it's really basic. It looks really bad. The one good thing about it is it has really cute noises, I guess. But yeah, it was a simple board game. But I put it out, and it has like 3,000 downloads. And there are people in Poland, and there are people in France and Russia and India who have downloaded it and played it. And the fact that you can make something and have people halfway across the world use it and then rate it well is amazing. And you'll love it. So don't quit. Right now, I'm involved with a couple of things with friends. There's a little mobile payments app that we're working on together. We're trying to make it so that people don't have to pull out credit cards and pay 3% to big companies. We just want to tap phones and transfer money. The way we do it is we have two different ways of doing it, which is QR codes, which is reading QR codes, which I knew nothing about. So I had to familiarize myself with that. And then a more Android-related thing was NFC, which is near-field communication, which is like it's brand new and it exists on maybe only the high-end brand new phones like the Nexuses and that kind of thing. So when I started making Android apps, Android was version 2.1, and right now it's 4.4. So and in terms of developer levels, that's from level 6 to level 19. It's incredibly robust. It's incredibly well kept. They do a really good job of adding new features every time they make an update. They make a really good job of making old features even better. So the amount of updates and the amount of new features that have been added every 2 months. So I think the greatest strength is how quickly it caught up to like iOS or whatever, and how much more stuff it has than everybody else. I think really getting into it, it was really hard to understand what I needed to do to become a part of the framework, to actually write the first few lines of code that weren't just hello world were probably the most challenging, because you have no idea how it works, and no matter how much you read, no matter how many of the tutorials you see, you really just don't get it until you actually start writing. So the actual challenge of just writing stuff, breaking, fixing it, and getting through it is probably the hardest part. It's going to be frustrating, and you're never really going to understand it until you get it to start working. So don't keep reading, don't keep trying to read the docs over and over, see if you can understand the second or third time through. You won't. Just put code in Eclipse, tinker around with it, and you'll get it in an hour or two. That's the best way. Well, I think it was actually we were working on the TouchPay thing that I talked about earlier, and it was actually developed during a hackathon, which means we had about 24 hours to make it from scratch. So it was the moment where we actually got information from one phone to the other phone, and the transaction actually executed in the sandbox for the payment service. That was beautiful. It took a lot of painful debugging for that to work, but it did. And it was like a feeling of having created something that you can't get anywhere else.